What's going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman of GBP Daily. We are under 24 hours away from kickoff in Minnesota. I wanted to hop on, talk a little Packers with you guys. Give me a quick couple seconds here while I get Twitter up and rolling. Let's see if we can get that working here. Um, Little Saturday afternoon chat here. I'm getting excited for the game tomorrow, and just want to chat. So let's see if get Twitter up and rolling here. Not sure if it's working or not. We're gonna roll with it anyways. Jacob, let's go. Let's go is right, baby. We're under 24 hours from game time, huh? Let's go, Lil Row. I'm just here to say I told you so. Told you also about Kevin King. Hey, he's had a good couple games, and if he would have came down with that pick 2 games ago against Kansas City Chiefs, oof, yeah. So let's dive in, shall we? Some updates we've gotten throughout the week, as you have all probably seen already. David Bakhtiari out. Let's kind of refresh everybody's mind here with D-Bach because even I needed a refresher. After all off season, after waiting for him to come off the pup list, even some of us thought maybe he would start the season on the active roster. He's a freak. We all expected him to really bounce back immediately, which just it doesn't happen. He's not AP. He's a freak athlete, yeah, but he's a big dude, so it's going to take him a little longer. Now he's finally been activated. He isn't practicing. We're all kind of getting impatient. It might get some folks frustrated, but you've got to remember he tore his ACL on December 31st of last year. He had surgery on, I think it was January 7th, from what I've seen. An ACL recovery is usually between 10 and 12 months, not from experience. Uh, I've detached my hamstring water skiing, complete detached, had surgery, had it reattached, and that's all I've had for injuries in my life. But I've known some people that had ACL injuries, athletes, football players, and from what I've seen in the NFL, usually around 10 to 12 months. Freak of natures might come back before that. But at this moment, it's been around 10 and a half, 11 months from that surgery date. If I'm right, January 7th. It could be wrong. Right around there, one or the other. Another thing is he's 6'4", 311 pounds is what they have him listed as. He's a big dude, so it's gonna take him a while. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe we saw him after the bye week. We'll see though. We'll see. Thankfully, our O line is playing solid without him. And outside of Josh Myers, we've stayed pretty healthy over the last few weeks. Ever since Elton returned, really. The line's been playing pretty solid. We haven't played, crazy defensive lines like we did earlier with the Niners, Steelers, and whatnot, and the Bears even. Side note: Khalil Mack out for the year with some surgery, which is just too bad. You hate to see players get injured, let alone star players. Um, Something that has nothing to do with that. I saw Peter Bukowski tweet earlier about Bears playoff games, and which one was their favorite under the Khalil Mack era. Thought that was pretty funny. It got some people wound up, which is I think maybe the point of that. But we'll see here. Let's hop in the comments here. Scott Gibbs, beat them Vikings, go Pack go. It's gonna be a tough game tomorrow. I've been trying to tell everybody. Everybody thinks it's a walkthrough. There's no. It's a division game. It's at Minnesota. We'll get into that a little bit later. Lil Row again. Hopefully he can come back next week. We need Jenkins inside versus Donalds. Yeah, I completely agree. And some say like, oh, you don't want him to come back against the Rams. Well, it's like every team is, they're all elite athletes. Yeah, the Rams wouldn't be the most ideal opponent to bring him back against, but come on, he's the best left tackle in the league. I think he'll handle himself. Don Rodgers is going to light the Vikings up like a Christmas tree. Cousins in big games? Question mark. Dylan will rumble through that D. Pack attack is back. Don, I like the positivity. Go Pack, go. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, we've been playing good without him. The Packers just paid D-Bach, right before his injury. You better believe the organization's going to take every precaution, as they should, in order to get him on the field at the right time. And I'm getting impatient. I know you're getting impatient, but we've all just got to, take a deep breath. We got to realize he's going to be here for a while, and we don't want to re-injure. Gosh forbid. We don't want that one bit. So I've got confidence that he'll be out there when he's ready, and not a second sooner. So we'll wait and see when it is. My guess will be after the bye week, but we'll see. We'll see. Next up, Aaron Jones also out. We all knew that. Had the mild MCL tear last week against the Seahawks. He'll miss a couple weeks. My guess, same with him. We'll see him after the bye week when we face the Bears, and that is on December 12th. So it's November 20th right now. I wouldn't expect to see D-Bach or Aaron Jones, that is, until December 12th. That's eh, about a half a month, which is tough, but hey, it is what it is. Injuries are a part of the game, and that's just that's where we're at. So until then, at least as of right now, it's AJ Dillon and Patrick Taylor in the backfield. More news, more injury news, which stinks. It seems to be kind of our thing this year. Rashawn Gary questionable tomorrow. Hyperextended his elbow last week. If I were to bet money, which I'm not a betting guy, I'd say that he goes tomorrow. But I know as much as you do, so we'll have to wait and see. Kingsley Kiki is also questionable for tomorrow, and a surprise here, sort of. Alan Lazard is doubtful with a shoulder injury. It's a tough one because we all know what type of receiver Allen is, and especially what type of blocker he is. Last week wasn't his best week. I know that throw to him or from Rodgers to him over the middle was just an insane throw by A Raj. Something that you expect Allen to come down with, but it was a tough catch if he was gonna make it. The guy had his arm around his left arm. Could have been called PI. I don't think it should have been, but he was all over him, and to expect him to make that catch 10 out of 10 times is tough. Um, but if anybody's gonna do it, I think it's Allen, and so it's tough he couldn't come down with that. He had some other questionable drops that game. I'm not sure if you can call them drops, but just plays that he usually makes. With those injuries, today the Packers called up Juwan Winfrey and Ladarius Hamilton from the practice squad to the active roster. Juwan Winfrey, he had a solid game against the Cardinals. I think it was I was reading it earlier. I didn't put it in my notes. 6 targets, 4 catches. So that's solid for a guy who didn't play all year. Comes in against the Cardinals. They're not a slouch team, and he did good. The one play, if he wouldn't have fumbled it, I think it could have been a touchdown. So that's tough, but we ended up winning because there was Rasul Douglas on a pick that I actually called. So you can thank me for that. I got another bold prediction coming here in a little bit. So let's talk about the game a little bit here. We got a good old fashioned border battle tomorrow. I usually refer to border battles when Wisconsin's playing Minnesota in college football, but this is the same thing. A game, in my opinion, is going to be kind of like a grinder game. Obviously, Minnesota's good. They've got some guys. Kirk Cousins having a great year. 18 touchdowns, 2 picks. 2 picks. That's like an Aaron Rodgers like start to the season. Besides their 4-5 record, it's not a QB stat. It's not. But if Rodgers had 18 touchdowns and 2 picks, I don't think any team that he's ever been on will have a 4-5 record. Because if he's playing that good, everybody else is playing pretty good. Whereas the Vikings, they're finding ways to lose games, or they're shooting themselves in the foot half the time. That first week, Dalvin Cook fumbled in overtime. It didn't. I mean, it was called a fumble on the field, but and it couldn't be overturned. But I don't know if it was a fumble. He was in a bunch of guys. It's tough. Then they were leading against the Cardinals. They lost on a miss like 36-yard, 39-yard field goal. They missed that. And then the Ravens, they were ahead, lost that game. Um, it's been a tough year for Vikings players, fans, but they're not out yet. And this game tomorrow is going to be a massive game for them as far as their season goes. And yeah, they're going to give us our best. They're going to give us their best shot. Outside of Kirk, you know the players: Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. That's just on the offensive side. Eric Kendricks, Harrison Smith on the defensive side, and to add to that, although he's near the end of his career, Patrick Peterson, he's a vet at an important position. Corner. I played corner in high school. It's a tough position. In my opinion, it's the second hardest position on the football field outside of quarterback. You could play 99 snaps perfect. You give up one touchdown or one long play, then it all goes out the window. It's a tough position, but to have a vet there, they're in a good position. I know Bashad Breeland is questionable, I believe, going into tomorrow. We'll see how that shakes out. And on top of all that, those guys on offense and defense, this game is in Minnesota. Yes, at US Bank Field. Everybody refers to it as the bird killing stadium, which I've actually been in that stadium. I went on a tour when I went to a Timberwolves game a couple years ago. I'm a Bucks fan. We went up there. We just went to a game. I toured the stadium, and it's a very nice stadium. It is, but it doesn't feel like football. It's gonna be 70 degrees in there tomorrow, and it's mid-November. Maybe that helps us play fast and, I don't know, loose? I don't know, but 70-degree football inside, mid-November, it just doesn't really feel it doesn't give me that football vibe. So, let's, give me a second here. I'm struggling with Twitter today. I'm not sure what's going on here. Um, see if we can throw this back up, because I don't want Twitter to miss out on our riveting content here. Let's work some magic here. Talking Packers, we're good. Broadcast is not available. Not sure what's going on. Everybody on Twitter who is dying to see this content, I deeply apologize here. Um, moving on. We're down some guys, but with the way our defense is played, I'm confident we can get this done tomorrow. AJ Dillon, he's not a rookie anymore. He's a proven back in this league. He's used to getting a lot of carries. That was his MO in college at Boston College. I think Patrick Taylor will be in there, and what an opportunity for him. Can't wait to see how coach uses these 2 backs and how often. If I had to guess, which I know nothing, so it means nothing, but who cares? AJ Dillon, probably gets 75% of the carries. Patrick Taylor gets, the other 25, and maybe they do some screen passes to kind of sub in those for the runs that they might have ran. I heard coach talking about this the other day. This same thing with using the screen game as kind of a substitute for the run game against the Seahawks, and that's what he did. They said it was because of the defense and the way that the Seahawks defense was playing, and it worked out. He won 17 zip. So Rodgers and his toe seems to be just fine. He didn't have an injury designation for the last report, and Devontae Adams practiced in full after a little rest this last week with a little injury. I think it was a shoulder. Correct me if I'm wrong. A little roll in the chat. AJ Dillon over Derrick Henry. That's a bold statement. I can't say I agree with you, but I'm not going to disagree. So we'll leave it at that. Um, yeah, I said it on Pat Casual earlier this week, but my guy for this game tomorrow, Chris Barnes. We all saw him go off when we played Kansas City 2 weeks ago. Yes, 2 weeks ago. We're gonna need him in a big way again tomorrow. Obviously against Dalvin Cook. This Vikings offense, whether it's a pass game over the middle, just to have some speed in the middle of the field, sideline to sideline speed, whatever you want to call it. He's gonna have a big game. Bold prediction here. And my buddy Jonathan says there's no way, but there is a way. He's gonna pick off Kirk Cousins tomorrow, and I can just sort of feel it. You know what I mean? I get that feeling. I've been right on a couple ones before, but when I claim a bold prediction every single week, and they're not like crazy bold, some they're just bound to be some one of them, or maybe a couple are bound to be right. So Rasul Douglas interception, called that. That's kind of a out of nowhere one. He's a backup cornerback playing in the starter role. We just signed him a couple weeks prior. I'll take credit for that one, but the Adrian Amos one, kind of a crapshoot. He's gonna get picks this year, and I predicted it, and it just I lucked out. So this one's pretty bold. John said maybe a fumble recovery. I said no. We're going interception tomorrow. Kirk Cousins is gonna toss a little dinker over the middle or something, and Chris Barnes is gonna pick it off. That's how it's gonna go. So, anything else in the comments here? Yep. Scott, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Lil Ro, you just been wrecking the comments here. Jacob Dunn, thank you for tuning in. You the man. That does it for me. Just wanted to hop on, chat with you guys for a second, say what's up. I'm getting excited for the game tomorrow. And My wife, she'll listen to me talk Packers all day long, and she'll chat back with me too. But I was just excited, wanted to come chat. I know there's a lot to cover, and I know you've seen it probably over and over again, but I just enjoy talking Packers with you guys. So, follow me on Twitter at Rob Westerman 3. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Catch us back on tomorrow as my guy Jonathan Beckman joins me to talk Packers Vikings. Have a good one, everybody. We'll catch you later.